What a month it's been. 4 weeks ago, I managed to fast track my license to C, and I unlocked one of my favorite cars, the Porsche Cup GT3. And since then, it has been a blast, and I haven't looked back. What a ride. It's been a mix of thrilling battles, heartbreaking DNFs, unexpected recoveries, and an absolutely chaos on track. 4 different circuits, the same car, so many lessons learned in the bad but also in the fun way. Racing the Porsche Cup is unlike anything I've done before. It's raw, intense, and it doesn't excuse any mistakes. So in this video, I want to take a look back at the highs, the lows, and also a couple of lessons that I want to take forward with me. So buckle up, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Come on, you knew you were never going to make that, sorry.
That was all you dumb.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you have an amazing time and life treats you well. That small mod that you watched is just a small taste of what happened in the past month. What a roller coaster of emotions. Streaming those races actually was something that I really enjoyed. I'm not very good with YouTube or streaming yet, but I'm trying to get comfortable with it. But the viewers really made it special for me. They were sharing tips and they were highlighting mistakes I was making, and actually their advices and contributions made me a better driver at the end of this month. So I want to take a moment and thank them. So let's jump on the things I learned. My first race was on Laguna Seca. Needless to say, it was a bloody disaster. It was like giving to a toddler a machine gun. The Porsche Cup is so notorious and difficult to drive. It requires a delicate approach and it doesn't forgive any mistakes. But at the end of the day, this is what attracts to me the most. It has helped me improve my trail braking, shuffling lines during the race, and pay a lot of attention to my surroundings, more than ever before. Because during this series, danger is all over the place, and you have to pay a lot of attention what is in front of you, but also what comes from the back. Locking the front wheels is something that happens so easily, especially after a long straight, and it happens thousands and thousands of times from almost every driver on the track. But still, it's something that you can learn and anticipate and prepare for an overtake or even for avoiding a conflict. With no ABS or traction control, I actually had to put a lot of effort understanding how to regulate my throttle, the pressure I was putting on the brake, and how I had to adjust the brake bias on the fly during the race. Making difficult turns actually be a lot safer, even though I was sacrificing a couple of tenths of a second in order to be able to be on the safe side. Because as we all know, better be safe than sorry, right? Using brake bias is something completely new to me. I never experienced before because all the previous cars I was driving, especially in the rookie races, didn't really require it. And to be honest, I didn't have the equipment, I didn't have the right wheel to be able to make adjustments on the fly. So remembering to adjust it just before the turn that actually required it needed to put extra brain cells on that particular moment, which actually added to the intensity of the race. Since locking the wheel was such a common mistake by almost everyone, switching lines to protect myself and I had to quickly react on those situations happened a lot more frequently than I expected. And actually my reactions have become sharper because of this. I was constantly able to look around my surroundings, my mirrors, see what is happening, my radars, because I had always to be prepared and react. Not something that I experienced a lot in detail with other cars, especially in the rookie races, because more or less you know that people will come after you. And in some way you excuse that, but with the Porsche Cup, and especially as you're trying to push your I rating higher, you have to be super aware of what is happening around you. I entered the series with an I rating of 1.3 and a safe rating of 3.6, and in the first few races it got completely destroyed. However, I managed to recover, and I now sit around I rating of 1590 and a safety rating of 293, and my goal is to go back to 4 so I can fast track to license B just before the end of the season. But let's be honest, this will be an extremely difficult feat to achieve, especially with the Porsche. So I might need to reconsider my strategy here. My pace? with this car is still, kind of average. In all 4 tracks that I raced, I managed to achieve an average pace, and in some practice times, I was able to push it a lot towards the right end of the average pace spectrum. I'm currently sitting around 3 to 4 seconds slower compared to the drivers at top 1%, but within my splits, I have become highly competitive, and I'm around maximum a second slower against the top drivers, which actually made me a lot more confident with the car. And I know, for example, it's very easy for me now to realize and understand my mistakes, especially since I'm analyzing the telemetry every race a lot. Just so because I'm not trying to be in the top 1%, at least not yet, but eventually, as the time passes, I want to get better and better and try to get on the track and with the car the best performance I can take out of it. Talking about pace, here is something that I learned. Especially with the Porsche Cup, you don't have to be super fast to finish in the top 5. You actually need to be consistent and a bit extra careful compared to the rest of the drivers on the track. What I've seen, and I've experienced this multiple times during the past month, I was starting at the back of the grid, and within a lap, I will suddenly climb in the top 10, if not higher. And this is because with the Porsche, there are so many incidents occurring straight away from the start of the race, and especially in the first lap. I don't know why. You will tell me that in the rookie race is exactly the same thing, or highly competitive races, maybe it is. But what I have experienced so far in iRacing or AC, I never seen so many incidents. It's crazy. Maybe it's the car that causes this. Maybe it's the mindset of the people who like to race with the Porsche Cups. I have no idea. But actually, as I try to get a bit comfortable with this idea, I managed to actually finish in my higher positions than before. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to excuse myself or exclude myself from those kind of situations and incidents. I caused quite a few of them as well, especially as I was trying to get a good start of the line and in tracks where actually the first corner is extremely bending and there will be a lot of hard braking. I was trying to get as much as possible in a position where actually it will give me an advantage. And sometimes I was trying too hard and it didn't work in the favor of myself or my fellow drivers on the track. But as I was becoming more comfortable with the idea that, you know what, just try to be consistent and not as fast as you can, this allowed me really to capitalize on a lot of mistakes of others. And I managed to finish in the top 5 quite a few times, actually. I think my rating now, I think my percentage of times I finished in the top 5 is close to 30% for the Porsche Cup, which is actually a very good result for me, and I'm very pleased. The Porsche will definitely be a car that I will continue driving. I really love it. It's so much fun to drive with it, and especially all the incidents that happen, it creates an amazing content for me to use for my YouTube channels and videos. So yeah, I will keep doing that, and I hope I see you at the track. If Porsche is a car that you love driving, let me know below, and maybe we can race together. So I hope you found this useful. Definitely lots of learnings for me to take away, and I hope I see you in the next one. Oh, what a slide. Ooh, that was me. And I didn't even touch the guy and I got 4 incident points. Come on, let's look this again. I scraped his bumper, man, come on. This should never cost 4 incident points. Oh my god.